one thing, and I don't know if this is the right thing to say, but I actually the other day, he was like, well, if you do find hail damage up there, like, what happens? And I was like, well, I was like, basically, if we find it, enough evidence up there, your insurance, you're going to have to call your adjuster out here, and we'll meet with them. And if there is hail damage, you could get a brand new roof for your deductible. Whether here in a couple of years, you've already talked about your roof being older. If you wait long enough, is like, and you do your roof for out of pocket, you're looking at X amount of dollars compared to just paying a deductible to get in a brand new roof.
Right.
I'd rather pay my deductible, $1,000 to $2,000 and get a brand new roof than pay out of pocket.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of one thing I kind of mentioned to him.
Yeah, I mean, when people want to know, and remember, like, you want to be a little bit careful about how much information you give them when they're just asking that before you got a chance to sit down to sign a contingency, because we don't want to overwhelm them. So if that was that like right when you were going to do the inspection or right when you were setting up the appointment? When was that?
So we're not setting up the inspection.
Okay.
Because he was asking me questions, so he kind of asked me what happens, and
For sure.
So.
Next time, probably how I would answer that, just to even simplify it a little bit more. Because remember, one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to accidentally communicate to the homeowner that it's like going to be this huge deal. Like, we don't want them to think it's going to be a ton of hassle. So the more simply we communicate what happens to them when we're at the door, the better, because we don't want them to be like, oh, I don't even want to deal with all that. And so what I would say is, I'm like, good question. So basically, when hail hits your roof, and I explain hail damage, even though that's not what they asked, I'll explain hail damage, and I'll be like, that's actually covered under your homeowner's insurance. And so if there's damage up there, we take good pictures, come down and show it to you to let you know what's going on. And I'm actually, sometimes people think I'm a roof salesman. That's not what I do. I specifically help people with insurance claims. So if you do have damage up there, I'll actually let you know what I can do to help you out. But insurance actually covers it, so it's a pretty sweet deal. So would this time or this time work better for you? That's what you want to do, so where it's just like very, very simple. And we're not even talking about deductibles. We're not talking about price. We're not talking about the fear of their roof leaking 10 years down the road, because that's too much. Like, they're just like, it's just too much to probably go into with somebody when you're at the door to set up an appointment. But when you do want to go over that is during the sales presentation, after you've confirmed there was damage, after they know that it's up there, and now you have a chance to get a signed contract. Because remember, when you're at the door, you're there for one job and one job only, to set up an inspection, nothing else. And so you're right. He was asking you questions, but you want to kind of regain control of that situation by simplifying the answer so that he doesn't make up his own mind before he gets a chance to hear all the information. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.